Hello, I'm Gayle Rogers, and this is a little video about the progress that I'm making on my graphic novel called What Times Kick Off. So my graphic novel is based on my PhD research, which looks at the commemoration of the 1958 Munich Air Disaster and my ancestor, Duncan Edwards. And this is Duncan's statue in his hometown of Dudley. And as you can see, he was an England footballer. He was also a Manchester United Busby Babe. And he died aged 21 from injuries that he sustained in the Munich Air Disaster. He did survive for a few days, but sadly he passed away in Munich on the 21st of February in 1958. I've been working around research around death and dying and commemoration for a number of years, and I think my interest in that area came from growing up with the memories that my mom, who's pictured here as a teenager, told me about Duncan, about growing up with Duncan, her cousin. He was actually my nan's first cousin, but he was the same sort of age as my mom, and they grew up together in Dudley. And I started researching his commemoration about 15 years ago now, maybe longer. And recently I started drawing images and drawing other people's memories and stories about him and the Busby Babes, but I particularly wanted to capture stories about Duncan's family, particularly from members of the family who remembered him and knew him and who hadn't talked about him before. I did do a zine with Roy Kavanagh, MBE. I took a transcript of an after dinner speech that he made, and I used that as a basis of this small zine that was funded by the British Society of Sport and History, and I also received a bursary from the Artist Information Company to help me develop my zine and graphic novel project, so I'm really grateful to them. And Roy's Memory is a very simple black and white zine that describes Roy's memory of hearing about the Munich Air Disaster, and as a young fan of Manchester United, reflecting on how that impacted on his life, how he felt at the time, and how it's gone on to impact his fandom of Manchester United. This is the first page from Roy's memory. It's a rendition talking to Roy, getting a description of what he looked like as a boy in the 50s, coming back from school, dragging his satchel, and walking through the streets of Salford. And then I've worked on my own sort of epilogue for my graphic novel, What's Time Kick Off, and that's a very different style, as you can see, and I thought it would be interesting to see the different styles. So Roy's Memory was very much black and white ink drawing, and this, my story, is hand-drawn pencil drawings using coloured pencils in red and blue. So I thought it would be nice to read out the epilogue so you get a sense of what the graphic novel might be like. Sometimes I think if it weren't for football, you'd still be here. It took you 15 days to die after the crash. Some say that you fought with the heart of a lion to survive. Mom said you were mostly unconscious and probably in terrible pain. Without football, we might have met at a family do, maybe at Kerry's 21st or my mum and dad's anniversary or a relative or friend's wedding. We might have gone to Teddy Gray's for an ice cream. We might have gone to Dudley Castle for a walk or gone to the pictures together. But we meet like this instead. And I bring you flowers, like I always do. So thanks for listening. I hope that you can see I'm at the early stages still, but I am developing a style and I'm hoping in the future that I'll have more to share with you. Thank you.